Hello, and thanks for joining us today. We're going to take a look today at the Mississippi Fall Tax Lien Auctions and give you an overview using a tool called Parcel Fair. You might have seen other videos from Parcel Fair showing you tax auctions in states like Alabama or Florida or Arizona. This Mississippi tax auctions, especially the tax lien auctions in the fall, are a bit unique, and so we thought we wanted to give you an overview to show you what makes these auctions appealing. So there's almost all 88 counties in Mississippi participate in this fall auction, and they all happen on the same day, on the last Monday in August, all on the same website, a website called Govies. And these auctions, they have a 18% annual tax lien is what you're bidding on in the auction with a 2-year redemption period. And on a side note, in addition to the fall tax lien sales, Mississippi also has tax deed sales in April, but that's a separate topic for another day. So we'll get back to the fall auctions. And this is 2022 that we're looking at specifically, but the same principles should apply for other years as well. So as I mentioned, all of these auctions are hosted on a website called Govies, which does a lot of auctions they do a lot of auctions for many states. And in Mississippi in particular, we can take a look at certain counties here. And from the, website, we can take a look at properties that should be in the upcoming auction and get a few details about the properties from Govies. So that's useful if you're looking at certain properties and just want a quick bit of facts about the property. But the Mississippi auctions have about 120,000 parcels, and the lists are only released 2 weeks leading up to the sale on Govies. So there's not a lot of time to cover a lot of ground. So again, this is a very large opportunity, 120,000 parcels, which have about $96 million in unpaid taxes. And in total, they carry about $5 billion in property value. So a big opportunity, and you don't really want to waste your time. You want to get the most for the opportunity here. So this is where I want to jump in and show you Parcel Fair and how we look at the auction a little bit differently. So again, all the different counties have separate auctions technically, but we're looking at them all in the same place on the map at once using Parcel Fair. So this area is always fun to look at, coastal areas. I think it's, they're tough to get properties because there's so much demand, but they're always fun to look at for auctions. So we're looking at the Tri-County area, is the coastal area of Mississippi on the Gulf of Mexico. And these three counties from left to right, or west to east, if you will, are Hancock, and then Harrison and Jackson. So we'll start off in Hancock on the left, and we'll just zoom into some of the areas here. And what you'll notice are the properties outlined in yellow are the parcels that will be in the tax auction as of now. If you see properties in blue, those are also available, but those are tax deeds that are available over the counter from the state. So that's a different story. We'll cover that more in this video, but right now let's go back to auctions. So the yellow properties, let's think about those and just sort of eyeball what's here on the coast. You can see some lots that are some narrow lots that have some water frontage. And moving up the coastline, we get into some areas that might even be more commercial or industrial zoned, especially towards the bay here. So that takes us actually over to the next county on the coast, which is Harrison County. So we'll zoom out a little bit. This is Harrison's waterfront. There's a lot of properties. You have Biloxi over here on the east side. And again, a lot of interesting properties on the waterfront that you could take a look at. You can get a sneak a peek by just clicking on the property, and we give you a few facts about the property here, just so you don't have to dig in too deep, but you can get an idea that this is land only. It has this is the total value and the acreage. We can keep moving and see another one over here that's 6 acres. So that gives you an idea of how you can take a peek at a property before you dig in. This is an undeveloped neighborhood, it looks like, with many individual lots to consider. So the tax liens are available on those in the auction. While we're talking about Harrison County, I found one of the most interesting properties I've ever seen in a tax sale. just happened to scan over this area. It's actually called Cat Island in the ocean here. There are no bridges to this island. It appears that you have to boat to it. And we found a tax lien parcel between a few houses here. So several brave people have built houses. It looks like they're boat accessible only on the island with a little dirt road. But again, this is not connected to the mainland. And so right in the middle of all that, you have a random tax lien parcel hanging out with a 1/4 acre on the water. So that'd be a fun thing that I don't think I would have noticed that in a list, but I definitely see it on the map when I'm looking at it. So that, Harrison County is unique. There's also on Deer Island, I found these oyster leases where different companies, Illinois Oyster and all these different farms, have oyster leases in the water. I thought that was interesting because they're circle plots. I don't know if these represent literal boundaries or if it's just that they've sold oyster leases for the general area. I don't know how the oyster leases work. Maybe someday we will learn that and put it in a video, but not right now. So that gives you an idea of Harrison County, and we'll just keep moving east over to Jackson, where you have quite a few properties here. Again, same story. You can click on these and see a few facts about the property before you click on the report. But if you do want to dig in deeper to a property and take a closer look from one of these windows, you just open up the preview like that. And then if you click full details, it will take you to a full report on this particular property. So this is a different one. I just thought I would show you a few various properties just for the variety of what's in the sale. And you can get a great idea of what all is going on with this property just from here. You can take a panorama view of the street and see this is a nice neighborhood with nice trees and houses that people are taking care of. You can see that there's one tax lien available for this year. And maybe the most important thing is the purchase options block. In Parcel Fair, we have put as many purchase options in as we can find, ways for you to buy the property. In this case, the only way we know right now is to buy the tax lien or bid on the tax lien through Govies on the upcoming auction. So we give you all the information you need to know about the sale here, and even a link to go register for the sale with Govies, and a link to the list where we found the property is being posted for the sale as well. And if you're still doing deeper research on this property, we have links directly to Harrison County's tax search, GIS map, the assessor, the chancery clerk, and just the county site. And that will take you into some of your research with the county if the website's going. It looks like it's taking a while. Another residential property in Harrison County, just showing you a quick fact sheet on this one. And then we have a random shopping mall looking property for variety's sake. There's commercial properties as well. And even a defunct car wash. So you never know what you're going to find in these sales until you click through and see what's in there. So let's move a little bit north up into the state around Jackson. This is Jackson City, not Jackson County. And the Jackson County area it's bordering multiple counties. So you have on the western side, most of Jackson is in Hinds County, and this gray border is the county border. Then to the east of that, you have Rankin County, and then north up here you have Madison County. You can see many properties in each of these areas that are going to auction. And earlier I mentioned that there are tax deeds in the mix here, and so we've talked about the yellow properties in the tax auction. So let me touch on the deeds briefly. So what happens in Mississippi? The state takes any remaining liens that pass their 2-year redemption period, and they foreclose on them, and then those properties are offered for direct purchase from the Secretary of State. So here's an example in Hinds County. It's a tax deed, and when we show you the purchase options for this property, instead of showing you the auction, this is available over the counter. Now, it's a few-step process, a multiple-step process to go buy this, but we walk you through each step of registering an account, finding the parcel, saving it, and then purchasing it. And so if you continue to the Mississippi application for this property, we actually, again, the steps will walk you through how to purchase directly from the Secretary of State. But the same holds true here. We have a vacant property with the address and valuations, satellite view. We can look at the street. All the same tools are available for these tax deeds that are over the counter as well. So while you're shopping for the auction, you may run across things that you would rather just buy directly from the state. So another thing, for variety's sake, you can see there's plenty of dense populated areas, but in Mississippi there's a lot of this as well, where you see rural areas with larger parcels and larger acreage. So moving on, here's another, this is kind of in the northern part of the state, another residential house, an example of something coming up in the tax sale. This is Clay County, actually, and the same process here to help you get registered for the sale and bid. And here's another commercial property along the way. This is like a corner gas station that you could bid on the tax lien for. So at that point, let's move north and let's take a look at the northeastern corner of the state. In particular, this is sort of near Memphis, Tennessee, but the counties I'm going to show you are Alcorn, Tippah, Prentiss counties. This is going to have a lot of those larger agricultural area parcel. I mean, this parcel looks like it's 480 acres, so you've got quite a bit of land there on that tax lien. And again, by using the map instead of looking at this in a list, you can quickly eyeball the larger tracts of land. So, and then we can look even closer. This is Corinth, the city in Mississippi, in Alcorn County, and this kind of catches my eye. We have a shopping center. It looks like it's in the tax sale. And moving south, here's another commercial-looking property, and it looks like a used car lot in this particular case. So quickly we're finding interesting properties, and whatever's interesting to you is going to be different than what's interesting to me. But the point is, whatever your strategy is, you're going to be able to quickly surf through the properties and find them. And with that in mind, I want to show you, we've looked at the big picture, kind of staring at the map with tons of properties at a time. But let's take a look at the opposite, which is what I call the needle in a haystack sort of search. Let's pretend that you have a very, very specific strategy. And so we're going to open up the search filters and say, so in Mississippi, in all the counties, let's look for vacant land with at least, let's say 100 acres. Let's say 10 acres to make sure we get a lot of results. So 10 acres, and frankly, let's just make it within 100 miles of Jackson, Mississippi, which is where my map is centered. That's how this search works. So again, 10 acres, vacant land, 100 miles from Jackson, Mississippi. So here we are, there's Jackson. And what you'll see is quite a bit of, we'll see 2,500 properties as you look, you kind of scan over this, that are 10 acres or more. So then, we want to get real specific. Let's do 100 acres, and let's just make it anywhere in the whole state. Everything with over 100 acres. So there's 348 parcels with more than 100 acres. Those are very large parcels. This one's 547, so big parcels to go around. So let's flip that strategy for a moment here, and let's say you only want properties with buildings and improvements. Let's delete the acreage, and let's say you only want $200,000 valuation and above. That's using county valuation, and we'll look anywhere in the state for these too. But let's zoom out and see where these parcels show up. So they're a bit more scattered, but there are plenty, 2,500 parcels over $200,000 valuation. So, and if you wanted, you could actually narrow this down further. Let's say within 50 miles of the center of my map, just to get very specific here. So now we're down to 734 parcels. And I didn't mention earlier, you can see previews of those properties on the right-hand panel to see if something catches your eye that you want to see in particular, and then find it on the map by clicking that button. And as we showed earlier, so this looks like another commercial sort of property, and we can go look at the full report for it. So I hope that helps you think of the Mississippi auctions in a way that is less daunting than 120,000 properties that you have to go through manually. It's good to define your strategy, understand what you're shopping for, and then filter by that so you can focus on the things that are right for your strategy and ignore things that are going to waste your time. Everyone has a different desire for their tax lien portfolio. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and we'd love for you to try Parcel Fair's free trial if you're not already a user. We'll drop a link in the description for you to check us out. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. We're trying to help people out in many states right now, so we'll keep publishing videos, and thank you for watching.